What's up, everybody? 80 Soundhead back again with a different kind of video for today, and this is something I've been wanting to do for the final day of Forza 6. As we know, Forza 7 comes out tonight at midnight, so I decided to edit some of my favorite and most memorable videos from Forza 6 into one clip so we could all watch them back and experience what Forza Motorsport 6 meant to sound entertainment, to me, and especially to all of you. So this is where it all started right here. This is the first video that I uploaded in Forza 6. It was nothing really special about it. It was just the first race that I popped the game in and downloaded the NASCAR expansion. Actually, I bought Forza 6 once the NASCAR expansion was announced, and that was the first time that I had played it. And then this is probably the first big video I had on this channel, where it was the big one. I think I titled it, and this video did pretty well for considering how small our channel was at the time. We probably didn't even have 500 subscribers. And I think this video got like 50,000 views in about a week, which was wonderful for me. So I was very excited about that, and it really made me want to do more. And then this video was probably one of the first truly just ridiculous crashes that we had in the game, and had one of the coolest paint schemes on it too. So we show the replay here. Just a wild one right here. Dale Jr. gets up in the air over. Danico does too, and then I plow in there, nowhere to go. The Arca brakes coming in hot, so that was a good one. And back at Homestead again. This one was when I hit the fence, driving this Matt DiBenedetto, and smacked the wall there, and then they're crashing up in front of me, and I was like, and I snapped loose, and then I get hit in back and just do a Richard Petty style move here where I like flip up against the wall. So that was pretty crazy. I remember when that was happening too. I was like, oh well, I'm uploading that one. And this one was actually was even worse than that, because it was like, whoa, where did that come from? I was sitting there, I was like, what? What? Like, I had no understanding of what just happened until I looked at the replay, and it was actually this shot right here that you see. Then he just got tossed around, and then we hit him square in the face. So good times in that one. And then this one was just ridiculous. Look at this nonsense. AI stopped in the middle of the track, pulls out right in front of everybody. Kevin LePages us. This is probably the first instance of getting LePaged in Forza 6. Well, I guess the big one was kind of when that first happened. But this undoubtedly is maybe my finest hour in Forza 6. This is, to this date, I think, the best finish I've ever seen in this game by anybody. The 3-wide photo finish. Got him by a nose, and I'll show the photo here in a second, I believe. There it is. Even with the original music that I put in there. And yeah, got him by a nose, got Larson, had the chip. I was the meat and the Chip Ganassi sandwich right there. And this was a funny video. Now here's a little backstory to this. You're gonna see a pretty horrendous crash right here as I go flipping at Watkins Glen. I had been trying for like an hour at this point to just record a clean race at this track at Watkins Glen, and I had been failing miserably. And here's another instance of that. Cars just pulling out on the track, and then poor Denny Hamlin just gets tossed around in this one too. He just goes flying down the racetrack. Nothing he could have done about that one except maybe not pull down in front of everybody, but hey, AI, right? Now this is the video. This is the one right here that a lot of people probably initially found this channel from. This video actually got made it to the front page of FoxSports.com, which was pretty cool. And this video was just, it really blew up. And a little bit of backstory to that too, maybe if you weren't around and you didn't follow the channel when this video originally came out, was the day that this video blew up and went on FoxSports.com and everything, the hard drive in my computer died, so I couldn't use my computer. So I couldn't make any follow-up videos or try to capitalize on, all this exposure. I was just kind of screwed. And this was a phenomenal escape from just destruction. As often as I crash in this game, I actually missed one for once. So that was a good one, and that's a personal favorite of mine, because didn't hardly lose any momentum at all. And this is a crash where, this is another one of those ones where I had been recording for so long, I was starting to get frustrated, and I was like, Jimmy's forcing me below the line, and I said screw him, and I just wrecked him. And it caused this horrendous crash. See, Carl Edwards is dying in the background, Matt Kens is dying, Kevin Harvick's dying. Everybody freaking got destroyed in that wreck just because I got frustrated. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. I'm uploading that. And then here, Carl Edwards just goes for the flight of his life. As you can see, I'm driving that discount tire car in the infield. And This race right here, another instance of just trying to record a clean race, and after like 2 hours of attempts, I was like, screw it, I'm just going to record the most horrendous crash that happens in this first corner every time I try to do this. And sure enough, the next time I went to go record, it happened. So I was like, there you go. And this might be, I believe, my finest save of all time. That was just headed for disaster, straight into the infield. Come right back up on the track, molest Casey Kane, and back to work we are. So I ended up winning that race too, which is pretty cool. This was dope. NASCAR painter on Forza, and I believe he paints in a couple of other different things. Like I think he does iRacing and a couple other stuff. He painted us this really awesome Soundhead Entertainment car, and naturally had to take it out and win it. So thank you, NASCAR painter. If somehow you see this, I do still appreciate that car. It's really awesome. And you can check out NASCAR painter's Facebook page too, where he shows like all the really awesome paint schemes that he makes. So really thankful for that, because that was pretty cool. And that you can still get that paint scheme on there too. I saw it on there the other day. I must have got rid of it when I was clearing out all the paint schemes I'd used one day. So I'll be sure to grab that one back again. But this is another just bad accident right here. I think this was actually the first Backstretch Destruction. I believe I made like 11 episodes of Backstretch Destruction, and this was the first. And I didn't have any intentions of creating a series, but lo and behold, we did. And this was a cool video right here. And this next video actually did pretty well as well. This was Bobby Isaac's number 71 K&K Insurance from 1970 that he won the championship with. And he took it to the Bonneville Salt Flats and all that. You've probably seen the documentary on Fox already for that one. But that was cool. That was a cool car. And this is probably one of the biggest flips that we had at the time, like height-wise. This car just goes flying in the air, and I was amazed at just how like it almost clears the fence, and it was really one of the most. It was probably the highest flip that I had seen at the time, and I believe I called it like the biggest flip ever or something like that. I think I've surpassed it since then, but that one was pretty big, and this was probably the statistically closest finish that I've ever gotten in Forza, because it's literally 0-0-0-1, and that is about as close as you can get without just tying entirely. So pretty cool to have that one. And this race, nothing special about it, but I am a child and I had to include it because I called the video Hard Racing. And well, you can use your eyeballs and see what kind of car I'm driving. So this video, I actually believe I put this out the day after the Homestead race at the end of 2016, when Jimmie Johnson won his 7th championship and tied for the most of all time, which was pretty cool. I'm not like a Jimmie Johnson fan, but I thought it was cool, so I'd celebrate, congratulate all of Jimmie Johnson's fans, and obviously Jimmie Johnson himself. So that was cool. This one I just get brake checked right in the middle of the corner by good old Harv, and I get tossed around and fly, and some cars drive straight under me. So that was a pretty good one, and that video actually did surprisingly well. That video did a lot better than some of the other ones do. So that was cool. And then this is one of just the coolest finishes I've had yet, where we literally just crash and I still win. And I get kind of pushed across the finish line there, as you see. So that was a good one. I always like that. That was a funny one. And here we got the Rob Zombie in the background as well. Had to throw that in there. I believe that's Rob Zombie. Yeah, I think it is, yeah. And this is just, this is when Tony Stewart goes flying in the air. He goes way high. That's probably the most like air time that anybody had gotten up until that point. So I like that video because you just don't see the cars go flying. This one was really cool. I'm saying this one's really cool about every single one of these, but there's a reason I picked all these videos. This is when I recreated or kind of showcased what the Daytona 500 would look like with stages at the beginning of the season before any of the races has run, and I accidentally predicted Kurt Busch winning the Daytona 500. And obviously he went on to win the Daytona 500, which was pretty hilarious. So it was kind of a lucky call by me. I have yet to predict anybody else to win correctly this season. Although you throw Martin Truex and Kyle Busch in the hat right now, you're probably pretty good. So this is just, I gotta remember which wreck this is now. We're getting so deep into these and we still got quite a ways to go here. But man, these guys get tossed around violently. I'm losing my... It was barrel rolling. That's what that one was called. Now, this was the first race that I actually ever drove a Cars character car. I didn't put it in the title or in the thumbnail or anything. I just drove it. And some people noticed. And this video did actually do pretty well on its own, too. So that was kind of cool. And kind of a precursor to what would come just probably a month or two later. And those two cars getting stacked on top of each other midair was pretty cool. I thought that was fun, so I uploaded that. And this wreck right here, this was the one where I sent Denny Hamlin into the fence, and he looked like Austin Dillon in 2015. And you'll see it here. I guess I didn't really send him into the fence, but I kind of ricocheted him back into it, as you can see there. And he just goes flying into the fence. Austin Dillon style. And then also Austin Dillon style, he gets hit right at the end, too. Except he gets hit by Harv. And then Brad says, I'll hit him, too. Why not? Good times, old time's sake, you know. And then this one right here, I gotta read. Oh, this is when Matt Kenseth got his perfect length. This was so satisfying for me, for whatever reason, to watch Matt Kenseth's car do like a perfect flip. There it is right there, and he lands it. Beautifully landed it, and we'll see it again here from his perspective. But he just does a perfect 360, just right back on the wheels. Wonderful. And this was actually the day after the Indy 500, and I had kind of caught the IndyCar bug. This is where I really started to take interest in IndyCar. Was when Takuma Sato won the Indy 500, and it was just a pretty good Indy 500, really. It was very entertaining, so... that was the video that I had made basically immediately afterwards and uploaded the next day. And this is when I get stuck up against the fence. We do some barrel rolling here in a second. This will probably launch it right there. And then we just get stuck up against the fence, as you will see momentarily. And boop. Done. Stuck. Game over. So that was pretty funny. The next video we have here is back in IndyCar, and it was Speedway Insanity was this video is called. And the IndyCar, the AI in Forza 6 are questionable at best anyway, and then you get the IndyCars on the oval, and it's just a mess. And this is another bad crash. This is what, Treacher's Turn 4. This was just a horrendous accident that I needed to show everybody, so I made a video on this one. And it was always one of my it did really well on the channel, and I thought, that's pretty cool. Just a big old wreck. And this one was, I titled it The Huge One, and it was pretty big. But, I mean, some of the crashes we've had since just are huge now, and it makes some of these look small by comparison. But this was one of my favorites. I love the Chris Buescher Busch Beans car. So, it was a cool race for me, and to just have a big wreck was cool. And this was the first Cars video that I did, where I actually put, like, cars and did a Cars character. And this, I didn't make any of the paint schemes. Well, I did make a couple, but not any of these, and I'll show you the ones that I did make. But this was when just McQueen just got destroyed, and it was the first video on our channel to hit 1 million views, I believe. And then I followed it up shortly after with this one, with the King getting just tossed on the backstretch. Just barrel rolling down the back straightaway. Didn't get damage until like 4 flips in. That was pretty weird. I didn't notice that until just now. That's funny. And get stuck on his window. So that was a pretty popular video too. And a lot of them, those first Cars videos hit 1 million views right around the same time. So it was pretty cool for that. This was like the closest I've ever gotten to an actual blowover in Forza. So that's just cool. I mean, it was just weird. Like it just got shoved over and it kind of looked like a blowover. But it was the closest thing I'd ever had to one before. And this Chick Hicks just getting destroyed here. That's all this is. And I think we can all agree that we enjoy that. Just watching Chick Hicks get his is the best ever. So get some, Chick. And yeah, he got pretty destroyed. That car is actually super like bad handling, so it's like that thing was crashing on its own half the time, and I have to restart. And this is Jackson Storm, same deal, just getting destroyed. I think we can all agree that's probably for the best. Yeah, that's what you get for being a jerk, my dude. So there you go, Jackson Storm tore it up. And then this is Doc Cousins' crash here. The crash just breaks out in front of me, and I actually tried to avoid it. I jump on the brakes, and nothing you can do. We get some damage, and then we head to the infield, and we start flipping. And we do quite a bit of flipping, too. And that video did really well also, so it was cool. And the car stuff was always fun to make for me. And this is actually one of the paints. This is the first like paint scheme that I made for the Cars video. I actually made this Cal Weathers one, which is voiced by Kyle Petty, for those of you who do not know. That's why he drives a 42 in the movie and also in here. So that was pretty cool. That was a big one. This is one of the, I have no artistic ability in anything I paint, so I was like, this dinosaur inside this car. I don't know if you'll even be able to see it, but it looks appalling. But anyway, that was my Cruz Ramirez, basically, attempt. Because nobody had really made one on a stock car. So I was like, I'm going to use that one. And pretty big crash right there as well. So then we have Bobby Swift. This is another one that I made. We have a whole row of ones that I've actually made myself. And this was Bobby Swift. Just going to do a little piggyback here on Casey Kane and some cars around it. Joey Logano's going to come in here in a minute. And he's going to go super airborne. And I believe he's coming into frame right now. And he'll be getting airborne right now. There he goes. Way in the air. That was huge. I remember seeing that and be like, yep, that's the take right there. And this is another car that I painted. This is Brickyardly at the Brickyard, of course, Indianapolis. And poor Denny Hamlin once again, just right in the face over and over again. And, yeah, bad day to be Denny Hamlin at Indianapolis. He didn't have any luck in Indianapolis. And in our videos, of course. And this is the IndyCar photo finish. Just did the oval at Daytona. It was a pretty crazy race. And got a really close finish, as you'll see here. And we got the Who Dat Boy instrumental going right now. Awesome. But yeah, pretty close finish. Not the closest, but still pretty close, especially for IndyCar. And we got back-to-back photo finishes here with Lightning McQueen jumping up. Get to the inside of McMurray. He's going to slam a little bit, but he still gets the victory. And yeah, another popular video from that one. You guys like the Cars videos? I like the Cars videos. They're pretty fun to make, so I'll see what I can do in Forza 7 for you guys. And here's another Cars video. Man, we had no shortage of Cars videos about a month ago, huh? And this is the King just getting absolutely wrecked. Again, that car flips so easily in the grass, and then he just rolls back on the track and just gets destroyed. Up, touching the top of the fence, basically, equal with it. And bad day to be the King at Daytona, for sure. This is the Dinoco's All Mine videos. I made about 3 of these, and the first one was probably the best of all of them, but there's some rough accidents in there, and I had a bunch of different like outtakes and whatnot in there too. So if you haven't seen those, just check them out because they are pretty cool. And this might be one of the craziest finishes in Forza. Just how close I came to losing this race. You'll see the McLaren P1 just powers by me on the outside, but we get him by a nose here, and you'll see just how close it was in the photo finish here. It was tight there. 0.001 margin of victory. And this is when we took the Bathurst, the V8 Supercars to Bathurst, excuse me. And this was a fun race. I was starting to branch out into some different racing series, just trying to throw some feelers out there. And this was one of the funnest races I think I've ever done on Forza 6, where last couple of corners here, shoving in the inside of him. He goes wide. He actually hits that tire barrier right there. He didn't need to. That's just bad AI programming, but it is what it is. Then we just got to negotiate the last few corners. But Bathurst is a fun track, and V8 Supercars are awesome. They really are. But I heard they're going to V6s, so that should be interesting. I guess they're not going to be V8 Supercars anymore, but they're going to be having a V6. Hopefully I heard that correct, and I'm not sounding like an idiot right now. But that's what I heard through the grapevine. And here we go with a little bit of Formula 1 action. Formula 1 cars are super hard to drive on Forza. I suck with them, especially on the gamepad. So I ended up turning on some of the assists for this video, actually. And just going through Spa, and we're coming up to Eau Rouge right here. And Eau Rouge might be just the best corner in any track out in the world. Just this track is amazing, and that corner especially is ludicrous. And this is just showcasing Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s final ride that he will ride at Homestead. And I believe we took this one to Victory Lane. But whoever painted this one did a really good job. And I hope he wins before the season's over. It'd be cool if he won in that car. This Dinoco Mcqueen getting past the wreck. It was a pretty big wreck, if I remember correctly. There was actually a wreck earlier in this video that took out a bunch of cars. Actually, I think you could see one of the wreck cars still sitting there on the side of the track. And so I had avoided 2 wrecks in this video, which was pretty hilarious. And then starting to get more recent here, we got just a huge crash. This was actually a 24-car wreck. This was everybody wrecked again. Everybody in this video actually got some damage from this crash. So quite a large accident. Uploaded that one, did pretty well, so happy about that. Big crash too. And then of course, here we go, the final crash in Forza Motorsport 6, uploaded only a day ago. And poor Jimmy Johnson just gets absolutely destroyed in this video, just gets tossed around with nothing better to do. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will draw us to a close on Forza Motorsport 6. Thank you to everybody who watches our videos and supports our channel. Hopefully you'll continue to stick around to watch Forza Motorsport 7. And with that, that's about it. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.